Great to have you back, Spencer. Good to see you again.
Thanks, Carl. Thanks for having me.
So can you clarify the issue here? Is this really about a backlog?
Yeah, so what's impacting Zillow today is that it's pausing home buying, not because there's too little supply of homes to buy, but because there's been too much demand for iBuying. So it reinforces two things I've been saying for years now, dating back to when I pivoted Zillow into the iBuying space and then when my SPAC took OfferPad public. Number one, there's enormous consumer demand to sell your home to an iBuyer because it's such a better consumer experience than selling your home the old way. But number two, to be a successful and profitable iBuyer, you need extraordinary local market expertise and operational execution. So, I haven't been on the inside of Zillow for a couple of years. My SPAC took OfferPad public. I can say that I know OfferPad is very focused on its real estate ground game. I happen to think that this current pause at Zillow, where I'm still a large shareholder, is company specific. In the meantime, it's good news for OfferPad, good news for Opendoor. In fact, OfferPad just expanded into California today. It launched 4 new markets the last 2 months. So Opendoor and OfferPad are growing really quickly. I think it's temporary. It doesn't change my investment thesis on the overall space because this method of selling your home will continue to gobble up market share versus the legacy method. And over time, Zillow, OfferPad, Opendoor, and probably others will continue to benefit from this consumer trend of selling your home in this way.
What about those who want to say it's an argument, some sort of macro indicator about where housing is going in general?
Yeah, well, housing is slowing. I mean, we've been on this tear, I think 10, 20% year-over-year rates of appreciation, and it is starting to slow, absolutely. I don't think you're going to see home price declines, but you're definitely seeing a lower rate of appreciation. And there's more inventory coming on the market. There are about 1.5 million homes that were in mortgage forbearance, which can now actually go through a foreclosure process. So you'll start to see more inventory coming. That is starting to slow the rate of appreciation. But iBuyers that are doing a great job on the ground, buying homes quickly, renovating them and reselling them, whether it's OfferPad, Zillow, or Opendoor, I think they'll be able to do very well even in a slowing housing market, because in a slow market, the value of an offer from an institutional buyer is actually more attractive to a seller. Right now, in a very hot market, a seller can just list their home and get a high price without having to sell it to an iBuyer. So it's a little bit countercyclical. I think iBuying will do well through downturn. Of course, we haven't seen it through that cycle yet, but I think, and I've done a lot of work on this category and I'm very invested in it, I think it'll do well through a downturn.
So, Spencer, though, give us the worst case scenarios here, because, as a long-time business reporter, when I see inventory stack up for reasons that are external to maybe the market forces that the business had in mind when they constructed their model, it raises an eyebrow. Even if this is about being able to get houses ready and, the availability of the workforce to prep them, to renovate them, what's the worst case scenario if any of these companies ends up holding inventory and economic conditions change?
Yeah, so they have to work through their long tail of inventory. I mean, there are homes where if you pay too much, then when you resell it, you're going to lose money. And so I think the Zillow pause is all about trying to work through their existing inventory. Again, I'm not on the inside of Zillow at OfferPad where I do have better insight. Making sure that OfferPad buys homes, renovates them, and resells them quickly and doesn't have a long tail of problematic inventory. That's something I know OfferPad is very focused on. I think this pause is temporary at Zillow, and you'll see them work through this long tail of inventory and probably restart iBuying probably late this year or early next would be my guess, but I'm not on the inside there. I used to hate coming on your show when our stock was down 10% when I was the CEO. Now, of course, I'm not the CEO anymore, and so I can come on and prognosticate. But I'm not on the inside, obviously, so you have to ask Zillow.